Okay. All right, so we were in the middle of... oh, look, animated fire. Nice. We were in the middle of... I believe Connor Clark was managing his irregulars, right?
Right.
Yep, that is correct.
Did we roll for Ugly Buster, who is dying?
No, that would be his body die.
I believe so. You're just trying not to botch at this point.
Alright, helping him not die would probably be very good.
The action play.
Yeah, I got a lot on my plate.
You help him not die, or do you not die?
Well, he's a bear, though.
Or do you prevent other people from dying by eliminating the causes of their death?
Right? The best defense is to kill everyone
So-
else.
Buster's still going. Slippery Vern is going to decide that discretion is a better part of valor, and he's going to run. Let's see what his speed is. Potter's run to 16. I think his would be the same.
Okay.
He's gonna try getting out of here.
I'd move the screen. Right about there is good because it puts that bush between him and the archers. Wispy James is going to do the same thing. Oh, he's going to help put out the fire.
Yeah.
So guard and move over to there. So he's not doing any help yet.
Oh, right. That's what we were going to do. Can I get from who? Forward Bernie? Can I get a body and I think strength would definitely apply here, but I just need to know what the actual...
Is Bernie doing a stunt to put the fire out? Is that what's happening?
Yeah.
Sorry, I saw the reeling on him, so I was confused what was going on.
Yeah, I think it'll definitely be a stunt. I can see craft. Throwing. Yeah. Okay. Say body craft. You just want one success here. Would put the fire out. Or at least get it away from the important stuff. Oh, and that was not the roll. That was for the Buster.
Shit.
Well, Bernie's dead.
Worse or
okay.
better?
Okay. Yeah, so we're going to say that Bernie struggles with the tent. He manages to get some of the pegs out and throws it back, but the fire, as he does this, has leapt onto some of the bags, and they begin to smolder.
All right. So Wispy James will do his run over, so he will no longer be... Well, guard and run. So let's put the guard back on and relay. And Randy Joachim will do the same. Guard and run over.
Yep.
Okay.
Potter will rally Wispy. No, he'll rally Bernie because Bernie was there first and doing things.
Okay. Is that everybody on your side?
Nope, because Connor and I haven't gone.
Okay. Well, please still take your turn.
Alright, Connor, would you like to go first since you have a more action-packed turn?
Yeah, I'm going to rally the doctor and then attack.
Alright. Well, you do have distance on it. Let's see it.
Got a 10.
Yep, so you got at least one success in there, I think. Right? You want to roll
so
the
you're
distance?
no longer rolling.
Sorry.
No longer rolling if I succeed here.
The D12. You want to roll the
Is it
D12?
D12?
Yep.
Gotcha.
Also, did Connor get focus when you rallied him?
Yes, he used it.
Okay.
Yes. Alright, so I'm free. I'm going to ready a spell into my wand. I'm going to use it.
I gotta finish my turn.
Oh yeah, that's right. Sorry.
I'm gonna make my attack.
I forgot this.
Little jump in the gun there. I've done it before.
I'm so excited. Quite a good roll there.
I'm sorry. So yes, who is this against? This is against Devaline.
Devaline.
Write that down. Okay. All right. Yes. Devaline will try to counter with her short sword, and she's not. This is not going to end well for her. 5. Yeah. Okay. So it's a 3-point hit. That's critical. Becomes a 4-point hit. Plus 2 becomes a 6-point hit. And she's going to roll her d8s to soak. And she soaks it down to a 3-point hit, so she's still standing, but not looking too hot. Thank you for adding those. All right.
I have a
Deviline is
dog
outmatched by
attacking you.
Connor. Are we waiting on anybody else?
Would that
Doctor?
That would be me, yeah.
Okay.
So, I'm going to ready fulgration. I'm going to go ahead and choose to attack a glide here. And
Okay.
then I will refresh the spell afterwards. So, let's go and see how it goes.
All right. Does this mean because you're using your wand, I don't get my range penalty?
There is no range penalty while using the wand.
So it's just for fulguration, it's just speed and dodge.
Yep, just speed and dodge.
Okay. Which is really
Oh,
just
those
speed.
twos.
It's just a
Look at
thought.
that one.
Okay, I never remember the rules for this, but take an extra success.
The
So
glade is guarding, remember?
that's
He's
right.
got green
Thank
dot
you.
on him, so.
Oh,
Why'd you?
Ah,
Oh, no.
ah.
Oh, it's terrible. It's horrible.
You hate to see it, but
It's not even worth a reroll on my side. Oh, it just lightning goes wide. And then I refresh. Oh,
okay, all right. So back to me then. Let's see what we're doing here. Okay, Deviline is recovering guarding. Guard. There we go. Okay, these guys have re-strung their bows and they're going to take shots at Connor. So first shot from Margot with an aim. I'll copy paste this from still 2d8 and a d12 coming at you, Connor.
Dodging.
Okay.
Oh, I am so fucking stupid. I've legit been confused this entire time while Deluro forces are attacking you. It's like, oh, Devin, right.
Yep. Yeah.
All right. Let me see.
Wow, that was a bad roll from you.
That was. I'm going to throw my personality on this one.
Okay. Brazen.
Son of. Oh my gosh.
It didn't come through for me.
Well, in fact,
Go
I
to
just
2.
saw everybody leave roll 20 and now join back in. Now I see
I
the
know,
roll 2.
same. There we go. Oh, damn. It was just not to be. Okay. So yeah, that's a 2-point hit and they're critical, so that's 3 plus 1 damage is 4. So 4 damage coming at
All right.
Connor. Still get to
Where's my
soak. You soak first and then it takes out Flesh Ward, right?
What?
Oh, nice.
It takes out Flesh Ward, then. Well, you roll your soak, and then Flesh Ward comes out too.
Afterwards. Okay.
Yeah.
So it would be 1 damage goes through and that would be absorbed by the Flesh Ward. Now question,
2 points of Flesh Ward left.
are you still
No, it would be
reeling?
2 soaked and then 2 to flesh works. It's a 4-point hit.
Oh, right. 4-point hit. Yeah. So 2. Okay. And does Flesh Ward prevent reeling?
no, it does no such.
Okay.
You're still hit. You just aren't injured.
Okay. So yes, you're down to 1 point, and the next attack is coming at you with
And
3d8 because of the reeling.
fair,
This
so
is
you're
from
never going to
Roman.
touch Connor again. This was your one lucky shot.
This was my one time. I know it was. Hey, I feel good about myself, but
Here comes the dodge.
you just got to beat 5s, and you do. Okay. Although only by 1. All right. So yeah, 2 shots, 1 plinks off of your flesh, your toughened flesh, I guess. I don't know what Flesh Ward looks like, but yeah,
It looks like the guarding light, I suppose.
the guarding light, yes. Wah. Okay, cool. So you guys are over there dealing with this. I think these dudes are all reloaded and guarding.
It says the flesh sparkles with white flashes, so I guess you look like Edward from the Twilight movies.
Interesting.
It says in the description, instead of physical injury, the flesh sparks with white flashes. That or your body is now made of metal or something, and you're getting the Power
Force
Rangers.
field.
I say the Power Rangers effect. You know, anything that hits a Power Ranger, sparks fly off.
Oh my gosh, you're right, actually.
Oh yeah, like little sparklers. Okay, we're just going to do another barrage of arrows from these dudes, I think. They're going to drop their guard, they're going to aim and shoot, and they're going to target... the only one who's not guarding is the doctor. Doctor still is near impenetrable, but I don't care. We're gonna go for it.
Not quite so impenetrable, just at a short distance is all.
Yeah, okay. So these are aimed shots, 2d8, d12. First one's coming at you, Doc, from Egilde.
Alright. Hey, 7
Dodge.
screens it out.
Nice.
Too
Second
far
one,
away.
Euphrasia. This is the exact same roll. What the hell are you doing to me?
9, too far away. The doctor's just literally standing still with a bullseye on.
Twew. Okay, these guys were, I think, Potter's in the way, so we'll roll against Potter. This next one. This
All right.
Federant coming at Potter. Another aimed shot. So much for my good rolls.
Hey, the
Burn
luck had
one
to
with
run
a
out
grill.
somewhere. It may as well be winning us.
Alright.
That is a hit.
That's a hit for 2 damage against Potter. Give him reeling. Bettina is going to go next once Potter soaks.
Is cover your guard? Potter's guarding?
No, it's his shield.
Yeah, he's got shield.
Right, I mean, I just don't see the guard die.
Oh,
That's what I'm
Oh,
saying,
yeah,
Potter's
okay.
guarding. I reminded
Yes.
it for the other guys. It's only fair that I do it for you guys.
No, that's very true.
Finally, the theta advantage we were looking for.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming Potter's a veteran, right?
He is at this. I'm the least certain of that.
I can't
We're
tell,
waiting on
but
the
I
D12
think
then?
Arcloid is frozen.
Oh, okay.
Uh-oh.
Arc. Uh-oh. Yeah. Oh boy. Okay, so the fate of Potter hangs in the balance.
Okay, I guess you could resolve a different attack. There are 5 people on that side.
There are, but most of them belong to Arc. I'll say that there's 2 more here. I really wanted to kill Potter, but I guess I'll send them at you for expediency's sake.
Okay.
Okay, so the next shot is coming at the doctor. Remember to take your D12. Actually, this is
Yep,
really
yep.
far away. He might
It's
be
the only
outside
thing
of
protecting
medium.
me right now.
He is just inside medium range. Oh my
Yes,
goodness.
barely.
Okay, so take your D12. 11.
Ooh, that is going to actually be
Oh,
a very
it's a 2-point
helpful
hit.
right there.
Which becomes 3 with critical, which becomes 4 with the +1. So 4 damage coming at the doctor.
Wow, I really don't like that. I could tap Coward preemptively to try to screen out the 6, which would screen out 2 damage. I'm gonna be afraid. Yeah, there
And
we
you
go.
do. Okay.
Cowardice pays off. Be
No, that's
afraid.
good. Yeah, be afraid. So it's only
Only a 2 points.
2 points coming at you.
It's 1 hit and do. And where's my armor? Here it is.
I imagine coward for you is when you just like do the jump and curl into a ball.
Yes, exactly. Aha, and I soak it. I am reeling,
All right.
And
We
I'm
got one more
afraid.
coming at you then.
but I'm not hurt.
But you're not hurt. So this is Renate, which is 33, which congratulations means you get 212 range. So enjoy that.
Oh, I'm at 3d12 defense for this.
Jesus. Well, I'm rolling it anyway because I got 3d8. Oh,
There's an
right.
11 in there.
That's a dodge. Nicely done. Okay. Getting a good spread of numbers here. Power failed and returned, waiting for internet. So Ark is on his way back. Good to know. We're going to resolve the attack against Potter.
Yeah, just go ahead and roll the d12.
Who are you talking
Does-
He-
I was talking to Red.
I was saying, Arcloid's not here.
Or should
I
I go ahead
know.
and roll the d12 that we were waiting for the guard?
But we
yeah,
also
I
still
guess.
don't know if he's a veteran or not.
I'm reasonably confident
he
he
must
is.
be.
Well, I mean, he would have it if it was a prereq for his careers.
He's been
Otherwise,
guarding with d12, so...
has he?
Yes.
These guys attacked, right? So they
we
also
go.
need to
I
reload.
believe a 9 actually screens out the hit.
Yeah, because it was a 3-2-5.
Ah. Okay. All right then. So not reeling. Okay, cool. That was. Oh no. Something else happens too. They're getting interesting.
All those
There
ammunitions you've been holding in your tent.
Yeah, go up.
Oh no, Danushka's powder barrel.
Right, there you go. Does remind me, 'cause we are going end of round. Things be burning. Okay.
Burn.
So there is a strange you guys probably don't notice this, but you do hear the sound of strangled screams and yelps from the side over here. These guys are reeling, and
It's a counter
reeling and
attack.
grappled. Do I have a good grapple? I'm just going to put this on him. Okay.
There's a hand emoji somewhere in there.
There is, but these guys are on the edge of the map, and it's a pain in the ass to get to
I
it.
don't know, you consider
Totally
these things
understand.
to be emoji.
I like that.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So Renate seems to be incapacitated somehow. I will use the hand emoji. This is going to get complicated. So
I mean, I could just start adding
confusing.
emojis to this.
Emojis. Yep. Reeling is just like the grumpy face. Okay. So we're back to you guys. Back to your.
All right. Ark, you with us?
Arc seems to be in the game.
Not quite yet, appears to be the answer. I believe more is the case is that Discord popped up, immediately went, you were in a call, and it's not finished connecting.
Mm-hmm.
It has some behavior like that, so I could assume that I'm on my own. However, that would mean that I'm reeling and afraid and not really capable of doing a whole bunch, other than trying to jump into the flaming tent.
Least expected move.
That is true. I could ask if Potter would rally me, because then I would at least get one action. Potter will rally me. Hey, thank you very much.
All right, coming in
Red.
from the text chat.
Read my mind. Bam, there we go. So, I can remove Reeling or Coward. I'm going to definitely choose to get rid of Coward. I can always retap. We'll go ahead and recover from Reeling, and I will ready a spell. Boink. Is a shame I got hit. If Connor eventually decides to rally me from downtown instead of attacking, that would be good, but I doubt that would happen. So, I am ready with an attack.
Okay.
Yeah. Connor, meanwhile, typing out the rest of his actions. Connor will rally the dock and move. Oh, he's
Move.
disengaging.
Okay.
That'll do
Rally.
it.
Got
I
a
have to
9.
recover from reeling.
Oh, you're back.
Yes,
So
yes,
let me
you
do
do.
that.
You do. So you can only rally or move. But it looks like you'll rally. I'm going to
Yeah.
roll the range die.
And what number is on
Oh!
my flesh ward there? 3. It goes down
Should
to
be
1,
1.
doesn't it?
It was at 1 after you took that. You
Yeah, you
soaked
did
one
make
of the
it.
arrow
Yeah,
shots.
I had a big power burp, and then my router and modem took forever to cycle.
I'm sorry.
Alright, so if I have focus, I'm going to go ahead and try again. I will go ahead and shoot this person before they have a chance to guard.
Okay. All right.
So-
They will just dodge with their D8. Hit.
How dare you?
How dare I? How dare I?
Indeed, it is still technically a tie.
It is a tie. I don't see. I mean, there's this tree here. I could claim cover, maybe. I would say is that it looks like they have raised elevation. I would say they'd break it by dropping, and I'll give them the knocked down status. Where's my? Oh.
I go for the cool matrix dodge and flop. There you go.
Okay.
That's one less arrow for later.
Yeah.
And then automatic refresh. There we go.
Okay. Still got this fire to deal with.
Yep,
Right.
Connor's men are
And,
working on that.
Yeah, what would you like them to roll?
It
Or
will
just
be
do stunts.
body and yep, it'll be another stunt. I think it was body and craft was the one we were using. Getting mileage out of our craft skill. If any of these characters have strength, that would definitely also apply in this scenario.
Okay, I gotta open my sheet back up. Give me a moment.
Yeah, no problem.
I don't think I've made any changes on it that required saving, thankfully.
Right? It's always that moment where you're like,
So you would say craft would help?
yeah.
Oh wow. Okay, that was nice.
Dang, nice. Okay, yeah, excellent. So, with a team effort, you guys managed to not only get the tent off, put out the fire on the tent. The tent is worthless. The tent is done. But you managed to put out your gear. There's burn marks over most of your packs and belongings. However, it seems like damage was only sustained to about half of it ultimately as this fire raged, and you guys managed to save half of your belongings, but we'll talk more about that as we resolve. Doop. Okay, cool. I'll just doop. Okay. Is there anyone outstanding that we're waiting for actions from?
Potter's going to try to rally Bernie because he's not Bernie, but Buster. Sorry, Buster, because he has the best dice for craft.
Okay.
Nope. So then guard for the second action. Oh yeah, Vern's gonna run. So he's off the map.
Okay. Off the map. Safe.
Well, they might still try to shoot him, but they'd have some distance penalties.
That they would. Okay. All right. Does that wrap it up for heroes?
I believe. Wraps it up for my turn at least. And
Okay.
Then,
Yep,
we have
and
the
I've gone
vulgaration.
and I'm good.
Okay. Forgot that
All
he was
right.
here.
Yeah, I tried and failed.
Okay. There's another strangled shout as Bettina drops her bow, and you guys glance over. It looks like a strange sight has taken place. It looks like they've been tied up somehow, and as you look closer, you can see creeping vines have wound their way up the legs of these boar and are begun to choke them and are dragging them to the ground. It almost looks like they're being tied down by the earth itself. This has drawn the attention of these other boar who begin to shout witchcraft, and they're going to turn and take their leave and disperse. All save these two in the corner. So.
Oh, Ark, can you turn your camera back on?
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's all good.
So I tried not to interrupt the script flow of the game to say it.
Hey, eventually we have to get his...
Yeah, I keep trying to ping him, but he's not responding to chat.
Sorry.
I'm going to say I grew up with a passive-aggressive mother.
I didn't see the ping. Oh, I saw the pings, but I was paying more attention to the window of Roll20.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, as the boar are going to turn and flee into the wilderness, there is a hacking cough, and a figure emerges from the north. She is a boar of petite stature, although she's bundled in so many furs that she looks larger than she is at first blush. You can see that she carries a staff that is wreathed with ivy. Looks as though it has naturally grown up this staff. The dark leaves are so dark they appear almost black. And as she crosses over to you, she sort of points her staff in your direction. She says, "Interlopers, this is my land. There will be no. I will suffer no conflict here." She seems to be addressing you, and glances over at the entangled warriors on this side of them.
Right. I assume that's what she's doing during her time, and they're still going to keep fighting while that happens.
Well, so
Or are
they're
we
still
dropping out?
struggling. I
Yeah,
think we're dropping
all
out of
still
combat.
struggling.
The
Yeah.
rest of them, when they see this witchcraft, are going to turn and run. I mean, your irregulars, you guys
Okay.
might want to turn and run as well. Although currently, this woman has not leveled any kind of attacks at you. She has given you warning or threat.
Okay.
Yeah, Connor's gonna stand down.
Yeah. The doctor also stands down. He just has his flimsy little wand anyway. So he'll go ahead and approach. It's like, it's good to see one of the blessed out here. I'm just a humble doctor, and we've been waylaid. We meant no harm to anyone. We meant only to camp out here.
You speak as if we know you, Doctor. She approaches closer, and you've never met this particular individual, but you are quite sure, based on your knowledge and experience, that she is in fact one of the blessed. She does not deny it.
I do still have insider.
You do
And
still
she
have
also has all the
insider.
signs anyway.
It's very, very true. So, she says, you dress as a man of piety. However, this is my space. This is hallowed ground, and I would not have it defiled. What brings you to this far remote place? And why is it that you have hunters attacking you from the woods?
Well, friends and enemy aplenty, I think. We came to meet several of them, and also came to pursue deeper into the north, into Chevrolet land, where dark forces are arraying. It was always our intention to head there and to eliminate it before it became a problem. But we've been here before, and they did not like the fact. The local baron did not like the fact that we made away with some of his silverware and captives and other things.
Oh, this seems to amuse her. She lets out another cough. You're not sure what exactly the problem is, but it does seem like she's suffering from some sort of respiratory issue. But she composes herself again and then chuckles and says, "Well, anyone who boldly steals from the Baron is is a noble, is a is a knight in my eyes. Surely anyone brave or stupid enough to press forward towards the darkness in the north. I have felt it, and I think it is interesting that you have knowledge of such things."
If you would be so kind, perhaps you could hold us up for the night and we could speak of it. I'd love to know what you've seen. And we could make fun of the Baron as well.
It has been some time since I have entertained visitors. It might be a tight squeeze for all of you, but I suppose, as night is not far off now, you may join it. You may join me.
Oh, I suppose we should also clarify real quick if Beverly Buster is dead or not. I believe he made his body save, so he's not dying anymore.
Well, there was another round of combat, so let me roll for the next one.
Yeah, make another one.
If you make one, I'll go ahead and just literally rally him back up to stand.
Oh!
No,
Damn.
Busted.
Too ugly to live.
Alright, everybody. Guess what? It's time.
Oh no.
It's time. Buster, it is not your time. You've done well in your service, and now I return you.
You're gonna blow Lazarus' heart on Ugly Buster. I like it.
Versus the one, I get 2 successes.
Okay, so what does this mean? Walk us through it.
Alright, so let's see. Dying to fatigue, dead to sick, overkilled to sick. So he was dead, so now he is sick. I only needed 1 success because he has not been dead for more than an hour.
Indeed.
So I go ahead and go to my knees, put down a heartfelt prayer for him and his service, and put air back into his lungs as he comes back to life.
He gets back. It was an arrow. He has a nasty puncture, like an arrow, like through his chest. Which I will say that you remove post-mortem and I don't know what the opposite of that would be, pre-undeath. As you are doing this, the Blessed One looks on, not in shock or horror, but her jovial attitude seems to have been dampened somewhat as Ugly Buster gets to his feet, and blinks his eyes blearily and looks around. Doctor, is it bad? He's like touching the hole in his chest.
And I'll go ahead and just pat him on the shoulder. It's not so bad as it feels. It'll feel much worse. But you'll get better, I assure you. And here's my rally to...
Wow.
That
Not
was
a great
just to try
rally.
to remove hurt, but like 5 minutes later, he's at least not hurt. So he's injured and sick right now, I believe.
Got it. Let's get some stuff on Ugly
I
Buster.
got a question.
Okay. Yeah, questions.
Is Lazarus Heart a multi-gift?
I think so. I think I could take it multiple times.
Well, because it's the last sentence that's throwing me here. Refreshing this gift immediately removes any Lazarus Hearts that are still active. As in...
Yeah, it's gotten me confused too. I totally feel ya.
So assumedly, if you went to refresh this, you would pray during the specific time period. This guy would die because you would remove his Lazarus Heart. But in that instance, you would now only have one Lazarus Heart at a time. So it's like...
You could put it on someone preemptively so that when they die, it automatically tries to resuscitate.
Right, but...
And so that would be why you wouldn't want to refresh it, so that you could constantly have it on someone who's not near you.
Right, but you see that the plurals...
it lingers on the character until it is discharged, and then it's like an attack spell. You don't lose any fireballs you've cast.
Yeah, the effect has happened. The spell is discharged. It's done. He is alive.
Well, again, it still doesn't. My point being is that the word has a plural on it.
Yeah.
And you could only really ever have one at a time, though. So unless it's a multi-gift.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it would have to say. Are they marked as multi-gifts? They should be, right?
Usually they are. Usually they are, but this one doesn't say it, except for the sentence here, a plural on it.
Is this isn't a charism, is it? Do you guys have a page number for Lazarus Heart?
307 of the main book.
The main book. I'm looking at the wrong one. Okay.
We're suddenly very curious about this.
This is important to know.
Well, I mean, having the ability
to
do it multiple times, right, is a very big deal.
Okay, what is times... Okay, so on this stat, it says Lazarus Heart, asterisk, times 8.
Yeah, I believe that means I could take it up to 8 times.
I think it has I think times 8 is a prereq. You have literacy, cleric trappings, white magic, mystic, and then any 3. And then insider.
Star special. Read the gift's rules.
5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so it might be. That might be
that's the number of
although
requirements.
other prereq gifts don't have this.
Yeah, but I've found that usually when the ones have a lot, usually have like there are others.
Yeah, I'm looking for.
Right. So the
mass mesmerism is times 6, and that has 1, 2, 3.
So healing has
4,
3
5,
stars
6.
and has 3 prereqs. Penitence has 3 stars. I know
Yeah.
Holy Cloud has 1 prereq. It has 1 star. It's the thing. So
there
star
is some...
times 8.
It would be manifold or
see.
multiple for take multiple times for different benefits or take multiple times for the same benefit. So it would have that word somewhere.
So we're thinking that it's just a typo.
It might just be a typo
Somebody
or a
threw in an extra
holdover.
S for no reason.
Yeah. I feel like because the other problem is, let's say you did have multiples. Anytime you refreshed any of the multiple gifts, it would reset all of the gifts, which would be it would be contradictory anyway, right? So
yeah.
Well, I mean, you can apply the Lazarus Hearts anytime you want. You only refresh them during a certain time of day. So if you had a manifold of some reason, if it was that way, you could just alright, then I'm going to reapply this tomorrow in the morning when I pray.
Yep, the next time you want to cast Lazarus Heart, you would basically be undoing all of the Lazarus Hearts that were active to that point.
Yeah.
Based on the wording here.
Oh, sorry,
and that doesn't seem very...
Sorry, not even in the morning. You have to pray all day to refresh Lazarus Heart.
Yes, the entire day. which I'll get to eventually. At least we'll have some time with guard shenanigans, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, hold on. So my current understanding is that if you refresh this, the dude dies, right?
No.
I think it's a one and done.
His status is now sick. He's not dying, he's not dead, he's merely sick, and any other status that was on him before, I would assume.
Injured,
So this is like permanent resurrection. I thought this was like you can, so long as this magic thing is, you're like a revenant, right? Like you're alive.
Right. No,
Well,
it wouldn't be like that, because the reason you can put it on someone and, like, lose it is because you could have it preemptively. Because there's a whole section on resuscitating. Got
it. See. Pains on the target invisible. Right. Triggered. Target becomes dying. Triggered. Okay.
I think the confusion of the text is that you can put a Lazarus Heart on somebody who's not dead or dying yet, which confuses the whole thought process if you think about it in the same way that you think about the unholy version of it.
Got it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, and it just came from a fundamental misunderstanding that I had about this. The last time I looked at this gift, I was under the impression that it's like a temporary thing. Like, the light has, charged your batteries, and it'll stay so long as I have given you this,
yes, I have brought
literal Lazarus Heart, right?
I will now leave town after taking your money and then cut their life.
Well,
exactly.
I mean, if you think about it the black magic way, that guy can't refresh his version unless he kills the thing that he then raised. So if you think about it that way, and you read anybody with supernatural sees the glowing heart on their chest, like that Jesus figure in the darkness, and you think, okay, but then you can put Lazarus Heart on people that aren't dead or dying yet, and it's like, oh, okay, then they can still see that, and see that this person is being protected. It's like, oh, okay. It's a whole different ways to look at it.
Yeah. But I think you guys are right. It doesn't say anything about this being a temporary condition. I think you just literally have brought someone back from the dead. Very interesting. Okay. Man.
Injured, sick, but alive.
This is crazy. So yeah, that's serious business, you guys.
You saw this ugly guy.
I finally did it. I finally had an excuse.
I can't wait till
takes a while.
Within 24 hours, half the party's dead. Why did he use it on Ugly Buster?
I could have used it on Connor later. Oh.
Inside 24 hours, the doctor dies.
Trust me, I was literally thinking I could just use it on myself. Run up there like an idiot and die.
I mean, it would be the greatest fake out, right?
I was also thinking at the walls of Calabria. It's like I could just jump off the cliff with Lazarus.
Yeah, but that wouldn't. I mean, you would surely have achieved overkill damage, and that would really mess you up.
That would really mess you up.
It might not bring you back,
and I survived the fall.
You might not survive the fall. It could still fail.
The worst outcome would actually be surviving the fall, and then Lazarus Heart does nothing.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm sick and injured at the bottom.
Well, now I'm terrible. Yeah, like everything is terrible.
I'm quite badly
and nobody
burned.
knows who you are.
Still alive. I'm just very badly burned.
I'm not dead yet. But yeah.
Lingering while we climb our slow way down.
Okay.
I will help Ugly Buster back to her feet, and we have our new host.
Amazing. Okay. One question. We're going to jump back to address, but one question before we do that. What are you going to? These guys over here are slowly being choked to death by vines. Do you have a preference for what becomes of their fate?
Well, I would definitely suggest perhaps they should be let go. Their friends have already run. There's no extra harm from letting them live.
The Blessed nods, and with a magical flourish, the vines will become inert, and the two will claw themselves free and scurry away. She says, very right. Come, mage and your noble friends, you'll stay at my place tonight, and you guys, she will lead you through to a small cottage that she has, and we'll jump back over to the banquet hall with Adris.
There you go.
Sometime during the night, you hear the shout up from a bear. What do you mean I was dead?
What
Where was the light?
are you
I guess
saying?
technically nobody knows he was dead other than the doctor.
Oh, the doctor's
They
like,
just saw him
Oh.
go down and he went back up like the doctor normally.
That's true. He was dying, so it was like touch and go. He could have just survived it. No one would have known.
I
but-
guess really in the metaphysics of it, what's the difference between dying and passing out?
Yeah.
Mm,
Everything goes
Mhm.
black for a second, and you're just back again. No time's passed for you.
Yep.
I mean, that's the experience most people have passing out, and most people
Right.
that died can't confer.
Right,
Cigar,
yeah.
You've had plenty of time to think. Let's see what you've come up with.
No, here's the real error in my ways, is that I came up with something 5 minutes after the fact, and now I've had all this time to forget.
Oh no.
Oh, brilliant. Let's see what
I'm
you have
sorry.
to improvise with.
No, it's just mostly... I said this before when I used to walk to work all the time, is that I would have an amazing idea on the way to work, forget it by the time I got there, jot down what was left, and then have the second version of it come to me on the way home, and none of it be as good as the first version. So you're getting the double down version of whatever I thought of before. Yeah, no, he said whatever he said, and I feel like this would be the real problem if I had time control powers, right? Is that I would pause time, spend 20 days doing whatever the hell I want to do, come back to the conversation when I restart time, and forget what the hell I was talking about.
Real Stargate moments. Like, but what do you think?
Oh no, actually, that would be the very first Dirk Gently book. Is the guy who was time traveling around all the time, and he kept rejoining conversations and having no idea what the conversation was. So before you ever find out that he's time traveling to do stupid shit like putting a salt shaker into an ancient vase or some shit, he's just a confused old man that you feel sorry for because he never knows. He can't follow any conversations. I had to go back in time and learn this language and do these things with these people for this practical joke that I only started mid-conversation that I don't remember anymore.
I spent 3 years on this practical joke for 6 seconds. I hope you enjoyed. So, now that you've Dirk Gently'd your way in, let's see.
So I'll say to him, if I can be honest with you, I have learned of a situation that I have not, in fact, meddled with just yet, that you, in fact, find yourself part of now. Because I do believe our last conversation regarding these people in the owl he has locked away in his message that he sent back down south.
Right, yes. Oh, you think you know these, so-called noblemen?
I know of them, I believe, and I do not believe that they're noblemen at all, in fact.
Haha! Well, there you have it!
But here's the thing. Now, here's the rub. I don't... See, we often talk about our accomplishments in the way of combat and war and the harsh environments that we've slogged through to achieve the accomplishments that we've gotten through in our lives. And before the last time when I tried to talk to you about using your own forces in a duplicitous manner in which to gather the resources of the mine for yourself, before we came up with this whole Bislave alliance plan.
Yes.
This is typically the way that I approach most problems when left to my own, is to wait and see, because you never know when the most advantageous moment might present itself for you to reap the most rewards. So to simply jump into an unfolding scenario is not the wisest course of action. It costs you the most while giving you back little.
Indeed.
So the scenario that I've seen play out is that if these are the people I believe that you've captured, they believe themselves followers of the true king of the Rinaldi.
Oh! Is that so?
Correct.
I did not know.
They've been operating for quite some time as a ragtag group of nobodies. I do believe that they have discovered some sort of shade or something that claims itself to be the king.
This is quite a tale.
Ghost of the king, remnant of the king, whatever a shade is, I'm not sure. What's the difference between a ghost and a shade, right?
Yes. It's all witchcraft and superstition, if you ask me, but...
Right, but I'm sure, much like anybody who spent many a time out in the field by themselves, you've seen things that are hard to explain.
once or twice, to be sure.
Right. I mean, I've fought my share of the undead before, so I do know that's a thing.
Oh, indeed. You might have already shared those stories with him on your last visit, but yes, he's eternally impressed.
I mean, if not, I'll like slap my leg and say I will share you many a tale of necromantic circles that I have discovered across the face of this island. Or I guess continent, I guess we'd say.
His wife, the Lady Melgar, will gasp and say, "Oh, Cigar, that is quite that you would have put yourself in such danger."
I believe there's an even greater conspiracy involved here, but this is a different. Sorry, this is a different tale. I should get back to the more pressing matter of what I believe you've captured in your dungeon or guest room or whatever we're calling it.
Of course.
Now, as I've said, these people that you've captured believe that they are operating under the. Let's see, I don't know how to phrase this. They'd probably say true king. But of course, that man is dead, so it's impossible. No man rules after his death. That's why we have progeny. That's what they're for.
Indeed.
But if any element of what they're saying is true, then the shade, the ghost, the whatever, knows who killed it, and it could upset the entire political spectrum within Triskellion, the Rinaldi territory, which in itself would upset the entire spectrum of all alliances across the entire island. So what may, on the face of it, appear to be a group of nobodies, a group of liars, could itself change the face of politics and land ownership as we know it.
Fascinating. Yes. He's nodding and giving like meaningful stares, and you can tell he's turning this over in his mind, but he's coming up with any kind of like obvious conclusion, and he's maybe embarrassed to kind of like he's ill equipped for this level of political intrigue.
I see his not confusion, but his like obvious nodding and thoughts. See, I see what you're doing. Is you're trying to think, how does this best play out for me? Which is exactly what I was thinking. Which is why I've actively taken no part in messing with things as they're going. See, if I don't put my hand into play, then I've got no part to play until the best opportunity arises for me to maximize my benefit.
I see. So you're suggesting that we hold the imposters until a time where their use presents itself.
See, I don't know that that's for the maximum benefit. See, here's what I would first have you consider is let this play out. Think about it in your mind. Have it play out to its end. Say that these people are right, or if they're wrong. What does the turmoil that they would enact, what could it benefit for you out here, where you're currently at?
This is a fair point. The courtly intrigues of the Rinaldi don't reach to our territory here in the mountain.
Right.
However,
but a faltering of their influence would surely rock the political landscape of all surrounding kingdoms, of which the Rinaldi, based in Triskellion, even Three Corners Fort, faltering there could embolden any other faction. What if the Bisclave chose that time to, who knows, launch an attack or try to claim the territory of Triskellion as theirs with a absentee king, or the entire political manifestation of the Rinaldi leadership in question due to a mismarriage or a murder that has brought forth a invalid king.
He's again trying to follow, but you think you lost him. You lost him around the taking of Corner Fort.
Look. Here's the position you're in right now. Currently, you're trying to take a mine away from the Chevenets, from which you've then garnered allies on the Bisclave border. So currently, you are already in a multi-dominion alliance, which would set yourself up fairly well should there be a revolt, an uprising, a military attack on the Rinaldi territory vis-a-vis Triskellion Three Corners Fort. being that you are one of, if not the closest operating landholding noble in the region. Now, your alliance, your military holdings, say we've already captured the mine, because I don't believe there's any chance that the savages out there are going to be able to withhold an actual assault for very long.
Too true.
And you are in the center line of being able to take advantage of anything that happens, which is why I say it's best to not directly take any action before your best advantage is known.
Yes, no, this... This is, okay, you know what? So that was a very well-reasoned argument, and I can see two ways that he might go with this. And I always like to get some kind of roll when we're doing these sort of heady negotiations, because I want people's sheets and actual stats.
Well, we're at
to
a
matter.
feast. You already know carousing applies.
Carousing applies. This would be mind and negotiation. You are using your wits.
Diplomacy.
And you got your diplomacy. Because this is definitely like an ongoing thing. So you could do that as well. Yeah, so let's do that roll. If you can think of anything else that might apply. If you're just looking for a single success, it's still versus 3. So, but he is... The thing... I think the risk in this case is you've given him all of this information. He's not crafty, but he is power hungry. The idea that maybe he might have an influence over this huge monumental power shift, and it could lead to him taking Three Corners Fort and by extension, perhaps even Triskellion, is a that's a seductive notion.
I don't see how that works against.
Oh, well, I mean, the thing is, yeah, in that case, he would probably try to manipulate these things to his own end. I was under the impression that you're like, just sit on it for now.
No. My whole thing is, I guess my end goal is let them go so that these machinations can happen in their own way. Because if you hold them here, nothing is going to happen. So if you're saying his desire is to take Three Corners and possibly push on because he's the first one in the region, like he's the marquis in this position, then he would want to let them go, because otherwise they're gonna do nothing to aid him in his position here, sitting in the guest room.
Gotcha. Okay, then counter. So the other thing that he might want to do, which is much more of a short-term thing, is if these guys are indeed enemies of the crown of Rinaldi, it could be a bargaining chip. Like, he could ingratiate himself
That's fair.
Use them that way.
Well, you want to make an opposed roll then?
Sure, yeah. It'll be against D6s. This guy's not.
Yeah, I mean,
it'll be against a D6.
I just rather appreciate the idea more that, because if he was saying that idea back, I believe Gar could also be swayed, because that is also a good idea.
Okay.
Gar is not. This is not a deceit roll for Gar. Gar is very much playing his hand as it is, because
you two are openly conspiring together and going, so which crime is the best crime for us?
Yeah,
exactly.
Here's the problem: is that this guy hates the rest of the party. I, as Gar, actively like this guy, because I might be sleeping with his wife, but at the same time, this is very much a Lifetime original movie in the making.
It's an equivalent exchange.
What are you talking about, man? We formed a business together. We rose to the top. You're sleeping with my wife.
That is the kind of drama I'm here for.
Yeah. So, yeah, opposed roll, I feel. Because, again, I think he could really sway Gar on this as well. It's like, yeah, we could use that to our advantage. I mean, I've got the connection to Triskellion.
Okay, oh, sorry. Let me roll my d6. Here we go. 3. Okay. All right. Yeah, the multiple successes over here. So, I mean, it's his, right? Like, his perspective on this thing is that, like, we should act now, and we use this, it's the short-sighted, it's the short-term goal. He's just like, oh, we turn them over now, we'll get a huge bounty for them, for their release, maybe even some land entitlement if we negotiate, if we play our cards right. And Gar's like, well, hold on. There's a smart way to do this, and that might not be exactly it. So let's just hold on to this for now. Maybe like question them and learn more about the situation, or like whatever. Do our research.
I think again, my plan was if we let their activities play out, we can better react upon it. Which is why I said my end goal was let them go and let them do what they're going to do and keep an eye on it. That way, everything I said before versus his, no, we hold on to them and then we basically ransom them back to Triskellion or Jakoba. I don't know who you would do it to, but I mean specifically sell them back with all the knowledge that we have on them.
Gotcha. Okay.
At the end of the day, everything I said versus the points that you made are basically the difference between let them go or keep them locked up.
Right. And so you so you make a very convincing argument for releasing them. And he still doesn't quite understand, right, all of your reasons. And he feels a little foolish, but he trusts you, and he trusts in your ability to scheme. And so far, you have not steered him the wrong way yet. So he might grumble a little bit about it, but he'll say, Gar, I believe you're much better at these things. If you think that we are best served by their release, then I suppose I must trust you as a friend. I put my faith in you yet again. So
I assure you, nothing bad can come of this. And if nothing bad can come of this, then only good things can come of this.
He shrugs and he says, I suppose that logic is irrefutable.
Look, if nothing bad can happen to us, that means that only bad things can happen to other people. And if bad things happen to other people, that's advantage for us, which is good. Therefore, only good things can happen for us. These people have nothing against us. These people are motivated entirely based on the actions of a shade, which identifies itself as the King of Rinaldi, and therefore they're motivated entirely down south.
All right. Yeah. Okay. No. Sold. You've got him. He says, very well. So, I suppose we should tell them they're free to go then. He'll turn to one of his attendants and say,
real quick before you have you haven't met them face to face or anything like that, right?
Oh, the Baron has, yes.
Ooh, I do that. I do that. Like I go,
What? You don't think?
Well, you see, deniability is also a big play in the political world, and if they can identify you at any point, I don't know what they might be able to do, right? Like, I don't feel like a Doloro Baron is going to come into play at any point in any of this. Like, they're not going to say, oh, the dead king told us that he got murdered by the Jakoba wife, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think anywhere in that conversation, oh yeah, then we got captured by a Doloro Baron. I don't believe it's going to come up. I just feel like when you do these things, you have to have intermediaries. You don't want to be directly involved. You always want to be able to deny your involvement in things that could come back to you. I feel like these are the moments where Gar actually likes this guy, and he's trying to teach him the politics that he plays.
Oh, that's sweet. This guy is not smart enough for that. He's just going to be like, shrugs, so what do you propose?
Well, I mean, it's already unavoidable. You've interacted with them. We can only hope at this point that any interaction you've had with them would be so forgettable as to not carry any weight the moment they get sent back on their purpose.
Well, they also do not know that I know of their true intentions. Could just simply say that I was mistaken and that they are indeed who they claim to be, and send them on their way, no?
That is good, I like it. You're thinking the way... More drinks!
More drinks! Bring me the fool! Twitch, where are you? And another round of drinks comes out. Twitch, the fool, is pushed into the center of the great hall, and he says, "Dance for us!" And he starts to throw wine goblets at Twitch, who doesn't dance so much as dodges and ducks, but this seems to be endlessly entertaining to the Baron and to his court. So,
the guy that he was going to summon over, or has summoned over to, not Twitch, obviously, to have them released.
Mm-hmm.
In front of the Baron, I'm going to pull out the Rinaldi sword, which I assume I have, because why else would I have come here to give it to them?
Indeed, yes.
And say, on behalf of the Baron, please ask their forgiveness for this misunderstanding and give this to them as a gift on behalf of the Baron, so that they, to just butter them up.
Okay, I like that. Yeah. The cat attendant cocks an eyebrow. It looks at the sword. It's obviously very fine and very, but he's not wise enough or knowledgeable enough to be able to identify it as what it actually. He'll take the sword and he'll say, "Very, very good, sir."
And I'll look back to the Baron chamber and say, hopefully this will help to smooth over the whole ordeal. So this will just be I'm trying not to use modern analogies.
Mm-hmm.
This will just be a stop in the road for them.
Good. He guffaws and shrugs and says, the workings of lesser mind, not my domain. I leave it to you, Gar. I trust in your knowledge on this matter. And I thank you for your counsel. And then he lets out another guffaw as Twitch seems to trip over himself and land, head over tail, basically, tumbles onto the floor.
Right, I'll raise a stein up. Today the mine, tomorrow the borderlands, next month who knows?
Oh, I love it. Okay. And maybe that's one other thing that he'll check with you for. So he's willing to go and try to find one of these blessed, but he currently still intends to go up to the front, basically, where they're staging their attack from, and whip his men into shape. Do you feel like that's a good idea for him? Is it something you would accompany with him, or do you think he should stay here? Like, what's your read on that?
What do I remember of the people that he sent out last time to capture the party when it was his son in charge?
Oh, okay. So the people, the hunting party with his son, all right, that was partly his. They were decent hunters, a little bit ragtag. Besides Fletcher, most of them seem to be like typicals. I feel like you saw his army, or maybe someone did.
Did Fletcher report directly to him? Or was Fletcher more of his son's sort of? I
think Fletcher reported to him, and then reported to his son out in the field, and then eventually reported to you.
I think that's what I'm going to work with then, based on previous knowledge. I'm going to say, your son currently has a skilled warrior working for him. I believe he works typically as a ranger, but it actually could play out fairly well in the front lines. Someone who's very knowledgeable with the lands, as well as operating a large group of people. I mean, last I saw, he was hunting me down under his son's orders, But I believe this man would be well-to-do to go in your place. Because at the end of the day, we're going to need you here, giving commands and leading the people, more than we need you on the front.
Never been one to shy down from a fight, but, well, no, I suppose.
Right. But imagine that there might be a bigger, more important fight coming, and that we want you on the front lines of that fight, not on some iron mine which will be a footnote in the glory of your history. We want your biography to read about the great battle to which you stood, not the great battle that you could have been in had you not been waylaid by an iron mine.
True enough. It is still early in the campaign, and these rabble won't stand a chance once we have successfully rallied our troops. Good thinking. I will send out search parties. Say you met him in the woods not far from here. We will track him down. And, yes, bring him to court. Very good. Okay, cool. Excellent. I'm going to quickly. I feel like my mic is breaking up a little bit, and this tends to happen late in the call. I'm going to quickly join the call. Just give me 1 sec.
That's fine.
We're going to see. I feel like this helped the last time, but something I've noticed with Discord on my machine. Okay. I like this. Wheels are in motion.
How long? Oh, I heard weird.
No, go for it.
How long did the other half of the party go forwards in actual time? Since I froze time here at the party.
Apparently, like a couple days of walking and stuff.
I was like, a couple of days.
It's been a couple of days. They got pretty far north.
Okay, because I didn't even think it was a full day. I missed something there. I thought you guys settled down, then got into an ambush, and it was not even the end of the day.
Yeah, they dodged the ambush. That's probably by the time you. We'll say you guys made relatively the same time. So when you hit Grimart, or when you hit White Ridge, they would be about here, and then they traveled for another day. Oh, yeah, we're on the.
All right, now
right. Okay,
do that one more time for me.
Yeah. So when you hit White Ridge over here, they were probably around here, and then they traveled for another day north.
We're not on the same map as you, or you're not showing whatever you're doing. We're not seeing.
Oh, because I'm on the GM layer. I'm pinging and shit's not happening. Can you see these now?
Oh, that was doubly confusing for me because I could see it. I'm like,
oh yeah, because you have.
What's
GM
wrong
privilege.
now?
Okay. Yeah. So okay. So you're over here. So we'll say that their ambush happened a day after you first arrived at White Ridge.
Well, I went right to the guy.
Yeah, and you went right to the guy. So
assumedly feast next day.
Yeah.
What time of day are they in now? Where they made encampment with the Doloro woman?
Yes. I think that was evening time, so that'd be the end of that day. So, there's still time here. I'm trying to think of what would happen. So when they release the prisoners, the guests, Frederick and it's his posse, I think that they will. Oh, and they have the sword now too. This is very important. So,
yeah, that was the goal.
That was the goal, right? So you accomplished the goal. But they don't take their leave of the place. In fact, I think they might try to make contact with you or with some of their men. They're going to try to avoid the Baron's main chambers because they're well aware that they were very close to being, I don't know, exposed and possibly executed or traded. So, but they're not going to leave White Ridge. They're going to try to make contact with you first. Is there any point where you would be outside of the castle?
Well, I figure unless there's a reason, unless the Baron requested me to be here for longer.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
I would probably
You would take your leave.
Yeah, I mean, again, does the Baron have anything else he needs from me right now? Because otherwise, this has basically just been a check-in on current events since I got the other Baron to form the agreement and everything like that.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So besides your company, he has no reason to keep you here.
Oh,
he just likes hanging out with you.
I would have finished that story last night about the necromantic circles, which would then we do know about the necromantic circle that's up here in the mountains, right?
Yes, indeed.
Right. So I would have alluded to the fact that there's one up there, and that I was gonna go out and investigate.
Okay. The Lady Meldgard will be the one to make the connection that perhaps the demons that the Chevernace are using in war could be related to this necromancer if this is true. And she does believe, everyone in court, by the way, believes your story. You're an excellent storyteller, and they're hanging on your every word. You're becoming kind of a celebrity here at White Ridge.
That's why I love it here.
And they love you. But the Baron will dismiss this notion out of hand and say, poppycock. Not that, if there was a necromancer, and Gar, it's obvious that you have dealings with these, you have much knowledge on the subject, but you must remember the Chevernace are, they're rabble, they're barely intelligent, bandits.
They might not be Chevernace necromancers. Now, I'm gonna... Imagining again that this is last night during that feast last night.
Exactly, yeah.
I'm gonna lean in. It's over the corner of the table. leading off the own camera. This is lead in across the table, like low whisper, but loud enough to be heard over whatever else is going on. I believe this might involve the entirety of the Sulamere Church.
Gasps from anyone who heard.
The only hands of circles, these necromantic circles, have been in territories where the church is involved, and there haven't been any places where the church isn't. Now, I know it's weird to say that here in a Luterist kingdom, but you have to remember there is a Sulamere Church representation, even here in the Doloro territories.
Indeed. Moldgar gets very serious and says, we even have pauper priest serving here in town. I wonder, perhaps...
I give a sharp laugh and I say, unless he's wandering out in the middle of the night to cross days across the dark, cold mountains, I doubt he'd be able to do such a thing. I believe whatever is here is out there already, waiting to be found and eliminated.
Well, is that where you intend to go, Sergar?
Yes.
Quite. Huh.
I figured I would stop by here, check upon the course of the alliances that we've set up together, visit an old friend, and then set off once more towards another one of these circles.
Gracious, there's a gasp from the Lady Melgard, and she says, "Oh, Sergar, is there anything we could do to persuade you not to go? It is far too dangerous."
No, but I surely could use the company, and perhaps a warm bed for the night.
She flushes, but no one else seems to take notice. In the meantime, the Baron will say, "Well, I see your retinue is well armed and armored, and I'm sure quite capable. But if there's anything that we can offer, supplies for your journey, or able-bodied men, please, you have but only to ask. I regret that many of our men are currently engaged in the battle north, but what few soldiers we have here, I'm sure there are some among them that are skilled enough to do you proud in this endeavor."
While I very much appreciate the offer, I believe you need to hold on to those men, not only for the defense of your barony here, but as well as the supply lines between you and the men up north. The Chevenets are ruthless in that respect. You don't want to have your men isolated without supplies to keep them warm, keep them fed, to keep them informed about what's going on back home. You've got to remember that morale is very important.
Yes, morale. The spineless cur. Well, please keep us appraised of your progress, and when you return victorious, I expect you to come back here and avail us all with more tales of your harrowing journeys and exploits.
Certainly, this will be my next stop back if I am victorious, and if I am not, well, have a feast in my honor.
Ha ha! Spoken like a true warrior of the mountains. There's a big cheer, and there's a toast in your name. Revelry is had. Warm beds are shared. In the I want to flash back forward to the following day, because as you're preparing to take your leave, one of these Children of the Shade are going to try to make contact with you. Or maybe it's that as you're leaving, you're taking the northern road. I guess it would be like the eastern road around the mountain, which is probably the easiest trail. You're contacted by a shivering weasel who is bundled up, but you can tell by his accent is hails from Triskellion. And he says, "Sergar, this is I come with a missive. It is Frederick, one who works with the Children of the Shade. He thanks you for your gift, but requests an audience. We have made camp not far from here, outside the walls of White Ridge."
And this is just a messenger, right?
Indeed, yes.
Right, so
It's not where he indicates seems to be along your path anyway.
Right.
But you could blow them off if you'd like.
Well, it's more my thing of what I said to the Baron was true, is that you don't get directly involved in front of others with the things that could be blowing up in your face later. So,
fair point.
Is there any way I could give this messenger directions to the place where we're supposed to be meeting the party? Because it seems to me it's more likely that these people should not talk to me, but should instead talk to the doctor and Connor.
Right. Yeah. You could give him. You could say that. I imagine you'd say that, like, oh, you're very busy, have no time to waste. However, and it's not safe to talk here, but here's a meeting place. And give them the location, and they would set out.
Right, in which case I would intentionally slow down my travel so that they get ahead of me, and then they can get to the party before I do, so that way if they leave or anything like that, I'm not in the same place at the same time.
Right, exactly. Not to be seen traveling together, surely. Okay, I like that. If there's no objections, I would like to jump ahead to the point where that meeting would take place at Icespire.
Where the Lich King lives.
Exactly. I was going to say, that's definitely a D&D module or
we
something.
Climb up the Rothos Mountains, and then we have all these undead bugs, and there's this guy on a throne.
Exactly. Classic.
Frostborn hungers.
Yes. So the Doctor, Connor, and company, including the recently revivified ugly Buster.
Oh, now you're a necromancer of sorts, really.
Yeah. A good necromancer.
Some might say these are powers that are unnatural.
I was literally...
Natural.
Can't remember the name of the movie. I was just watching a spoony review of a movie where this noble...
Reanimator?
What's that?
Reanimator?
No. This noble in court has these two guys, like, in chains, and he's describing, then they plucked out my eyes, then they ripped my arms off, then they tore my tongue out of my head, and he's like, but I'm gonna let you keep going, I want to see where this goes. And the thing is that their crime isn't what they did to the guy, their crime is that they brought him back from the dead, and necromancy is illegal. So...
Yep. Gotcha. Yikes. Okay, so actually, wait, before we get there, I'm sorry, because I completely glossed over this thing. So, before we get there, you guys had stayed with the Blessed One, who, his name is, you know what? I used the generator, it's an impronounceable name, but it's kind of close to this, so we're going to call her Calamine.
Anonymous. Carmeline?
No.
Okay.
We already have a Carmelithe, don't we? But I'm going to call her Cameline, the Ivy, Path of Ivy Blessed.
There we go.
Okay. All right. Cameline gives you harbor. She's not super thrilled about your... She's curious, but she doesn't seem happy about your ability to bring people back from the dead. Apparently, this is something that is strikes her as unnatural. She's not familiar with the holy ways of Sa'alumer, but...
Well, I have a whole book with me here, but I'll just tuck that away.
I've got some literature. You know what? You don't need it.
I don't need to patronize a generous host.
So she will serve you all stew. It is kind of crowded in her little cottage, but she does have a table set up, and she does give you a replacement tent, I guess, for the rest of your followers outside. Kind of a soft, gentle snow begins to fall, which muffles things as the purple light of night creeps through this valley, and she will ask you a few questions as to your purpose. You already said that you were here to stop the necromantic blight. She said that she has felt the disturbances from there, but it seems to be incredibly dangerous, and she would advise anyone to avoid this place.
What sort of things have you seen? honestly have gone through fields and fields of the undead before.
And
Though I suppose that was under different circumstances. Been
likewise,
through
we
haunted
aren't
woods and
just
such.
anybody.
Ah, yes,
Mhm.
and of course, Sir Connor here is the most brave and noble warrior that I have met since Harmon.
Well,
Please, I do not compare it to him.
she doesn't get out much. She has not heard of Connor's exploits, or of yours, Doctor. So she'll simply say that it is you do seem capable, but it is foolhardy. She'll tell you what she knows of or what she's seen. The necromancers, the evil had awakened there months previous. It became a cursed place, and she did what she could to hold back the forces. But there's some sort of epicenter of dark negative energy that is too strong for the natural order to overcome. These experiments have grown subtly at first, but in recent weeks it seems that the taint has corrupted the minds of the Chevernace. The goat barbarians know better than to defile nature normally, but they do have a tendency to follow perceived strength. So she fears that someone has corrupted their minds and has made some sort of bargain with the Chevernace, one that is truly tragic for all involved.
You may be more correct than you think. The opening of this verge of darkness is something on a natural cycle, and is something that must be dealt with. However, there has been another who has tempted others into dark powers and given them the tools that they need to abuse it, and those around them. You
Who
are
is
more correct
this?
than you think.
Hmm.
Correct me if I'm wrong, I believe it was Almazan, right?
Yes.
Amosand, yes, that's
Yes, the Dread Witch Almazan. We have several notes of hers that we've acquired from others who were tainted by her.
And we've killed several
But I've
students and
since
others.
been robbed a few times.
oh yeah. Mm.
Well, Doctor, you did help me kill one of her students.
And another, and another.
Yes, of course.
She seems Cameline seems shocked that their influence would extend this far north into the mountains, but she the way you speak, it sounds like it is from much experience, and she would not so she will defer to you on this matter. She seems interested too, though, to rid the mountain of such an evil. She says that in her time and in her conversations with those who travel through these areas, it seems that many have crossed paths with these necromancers. Some have barely escaped. Some report that their party members were murdered, were turned into undead abominations. And even those, many of those peaceful natives of the region who would not dare to ally themselves with dark forces have been terrorized into it, given no alternative. It's to the point where she can no longer stand idly by. The balance is so upset that she fears she will have to break her oath of pacifism, which she already kind of has tonight in sort of a
Well,
selfish
Violet's
way.
made fool of all of us tonight, so
Indeed.
so share a drink over that one. That doesn't bode well. There was a friend of ours, a guide we met the last time we were up here, a large bear by the name of Ripedow. He was coming in this way, and I'd hoped to perhaps see more of him, but maybe you saw him along his way. I
Oh,
do
it
hope he's
was
alright.
it was a week ago, perhaps, that he last crossed here. There was something strange about him. He seemed sullen and withdrawn. Normally a cheerful and pleasant enough fellow, despite his smell. I'm sure you noticed, but yes, I cautioned him not to travel further north, but he seemed resigned to go on his way. It's not my nature to interfere in people's business.
He may have felt the need to do what we are trying to do.
He's a good person. I do
Yes.
hope whatever he went on to is alright. Perhaps we shall see more of him as we continue northward. If it is as you say, perhaps he's been drawn to all of this madness too.
Mayhap, though I could not personally believe such a kind and shy soul as his to be involved in all of this mess, but these are strange times.
Indeed. For the time being, though, we are waiting for one of our members to join us, along with his retinue. Together, perhaps we can rally out and see what can be done. Of the way forward, what do you know of the area where this verges? What is it like? Is there any sort of important feature out there? Or is it simply another plateau on the mountain?
Well, she tells you that there are craggy peaks that shelter a basin, and in the center of this raised valley, there is a lake. And this seems to be the epicenter for this evil, this verge. It has since become the lair of this necromancer, whoever they may be. And it is also was formerly a campsite for a nomadic tribe of Chevernays. She imagines that this is the tribe that you were dealing with, or that has allied themselves with the Dark Force, and they have a name. Do they? I'm pretty sure they do. Hold on a second. Of course, it is hidden somewhere in my notes. I'll find it. Basically, she doesn't know the name of the tribe. She just knows that they used to hunt in that region and use sort of this sheltered basin as a campsite.
So it should be defensible. There's people who've lived there before. Perhaps maybe there are paths up there. You can find them. That would be safer than others. Perhaps even unseen. But they'll have the lay of the land more than...
Indeed, it is dangerous to travel into Chevernay's territory at the best of times. Who knows what they're capable of if they have darkness on their side.
I would ask you could guide us there, but I do understand you may have your grove in place here you wish to... If we fail, of course, you will have to take up the task next, no doubt.
I would like to get a roll. I think this would be mind and negotiation, or leadership. I could also see an argument for that.
You know what? I'll go with leadership today.
Okay.
So 3d12 plus 1d4. Let's do it.
Crap.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at this.
We're rolling
Hey,
2d10. Oh, sure. 3 successes.
Yes. We must all come together of all sorts and stripes to strive against this dark.
All right. She says, I do not follow the same path as you do, Doctor, but I do recognize that this danger is on my doorstep, and you have your bravery to travel all this way to fight it. Who would I be? What would my powers be worth if I sat idly by and did not help? So she is rallied to your cause. She will pick up her staff and knock it once on the floor of her cabin and say, you may call me Lady Calamine, and this is... I shall do what I can. I have limited knowledge of the region, of the specific Chevernay's paths, but I have lived here for all my life. And I will lend my guidance and my powers, such as they might help you in your cause.
It warms my heart to have you by my side, my lady.
She looks around. She says, I do have some stores here, though not enough to help to feed your whole force, your whole
come
unit.
With enough. How much of that was actually burned?
We're going to say 50% of it. Yeah, you guys...
That
it
might
could have all
get
been
us
burned.
all the way up there and back to Grimart, but we will not be leaving the mountains.
Right, yeah. So you do have enough, we'll say, to get to this site, and we'll say to get back to Icespire. Sort of your midway point. We'll throw Icespire on here as well. It's kind of crowded with these little indicators, but we're going to put Icespire. Actually, I guess Icespire is kind of where you are now because I moved your token, so delete. Anyway, so yeah, technically you're still over here somewhere, but yes.
Right.
So yeah, you definitely have enough rations, we'll say, to get to here, there, back to here, possibly back down to,
Right.
We'll
have a chance to refill,
White
assuming
Ridge.
we aren't arrested.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Wonderful. She nods. She says we can set out in the morning. The snow should let up by then.
Let's see. So we have been at this for a little bit, at least here, right? Or have we just been put up for a day? I'm trying to figure out how many times I can try to heal our irregulars real quick.
Oh, let's say one. You've had like a day since the combat, or by the time you get to Icespire, we'll say there's been 2 days of travel time.
Okay, so let's go ahead and shoot for that real quick. Where's my healing? There's my healing. Alright, I believe there's 2 of them that are injured, and one of them, and one of those is also sick. So, injured guy. Congratulations, it's a miracle.
This is a miracle!
Oh, wait. Actually, I think he needs to roll as well real quick. It's not a miracle.
No.
But he feels nice today. And then I'll go ahead and try going for the sick one the next day. Honestly, he should probably just stay behind at the grove.
Yeah.
Ugly Brennan should probably just rest, and I'll try doing the injured guy again. He will recover fully from his injury.
Nice. Okay.
What did you say his
That's
name
a
was?
botch.
Ugly
Buster?
Bennett? Buster.
Oh, don't,
Buster, there we go.
Don't help him. He saved this guy's life with a holy miracle. He should at least remember his name.
I've been getting so much shit this week for not remembering any names, I swear. Not a Thursday.
Oh, okay.
Alright.
Alrighty then. Cool.
So at least our party that ventures forth shall be in good health. Hooray.
Yeah, and Cameline has knowledge of this area, and she manages to navigate you there without any kind of trouble and avoiding. It's weird. There's one point where you are beset upon by these raptors, but she seems to commune with them, and they leave her be. Part for you.
I should perhaps page from your book and actually open up my heart to these beasts at some point. They're always trying to eat me.
She says, well, similarly, you are always eating of their kind as well. It is the natural order. When I die, I intend to go in the jaws of one of these noble beasts myself. I don't know. It's a weird thing to say. But she's a weirdo. She's a weird hermit lady.
Of course. But an endearing weird hermit lady.
Yes,
So I
I
guess
am
that-
probably more delicious than your average commoner.
I
So
like
I
it,
guess
yeah.
that is still 4 days to end up getting to this point in total from original starting point.
Mhm.
Where's Gar in this time? Was he heading out somewhere, or was he just talking to people more?
He set out like a day after he was just passing through. He did maybe hold back so that the Children of the Shade could get some lead time on him, but I imagine that he's also headed. He probably.
I'm on my way to the agreed upon spot. I'm just heading slower so that
Which
you can.
was that region with the Blessed, so.
Right, so you could meet up with the Children of the Shade without me being in the same place that they are.
So I suppose
Yeah.
our ugly friend will go ahead. Ugly Buster will be there to at least explain what we're doing, where we've gone, and that this is a safe place.
Sorry.
And then he sneezes.
Where is he
on
going?
I feel like when you have to explain that a place is a safe place, the place isn't a safe place.
you.
Don't worry, you're in a safe place. Why are you shouting? You're safe!
Mhm.
Don't look behind you. Everything is fine.
Just
Alright.
be sure that you don't. What? Safe.
So
I just want to get the status of my guys down real quick because I was about to track one of them when my power went out, so no, I don't remember who's who.
Okay.
Who was it that is also injured and then got healed?
I forget whom it was, but he is.
Okay,
It was the one who was
Ugly
running
Buster is still injured and sick.
Yes.
Okay, and he's been left behind, so I will.
He's got a bed, he's got his body, he shouldn't revert as long as he just lies down.
Let's just hope
Alright.
that the Raptors don't get him.
Yeah, because that is a natural order of things, and this woman is like one of those kind of David Attenborough kind of bitches.
It's a natural remedy.
Yeah. Okay.
So I suppose given that, when you get there and I guess the Shades get there, what's the plan for Gar?
Well, the Shades would get there. They would meet
Yeah, I think.
Ugly Bennett, or whatever the hell his name is.
Why are we sending him ahead?
Ugly Bennett is staying behind.
Yeah, I think
Ugly
he's gonna. Buster, yeah. Buster is gonna stay.
That's what I'm saying. That ugly Buster would be there when the Shades arrive there, and they're gonna get there well before I ever do. So ugly Buster is going to tell them whatever.
So this is happening over here. I moved. So this is happening at the Blessed One's cottage, which is somewhere in this area.
Yeah.
So he's staying behind because he got a new lease on life, and he's kind of feeling under the weather. So it's going to be at Icespire will be Connor and Retinue and Doctor and the Children of the Shade, and they've got probably like a day before Gar shows up because he's intentionally going slow because he wants no part of this conversation. So we should have this conversation now, and then we should do the debrief.
Okay.
Sounds good? Okay. So, you arrive at the meeting place. It seems it is a wind-swept peak, but you do find some shelter. Although right outside of the rocks outcropping, there's icy winds and a view that would probably extend for miles, except for the fact that it is permanently overcast with gray mist. But you managed to set up a shelter there, and after maybe half a day, you can see a tiny group of frozen travelers, including this small owl that you recognize, Frederick. When they approach the fire, they look all but frozen solid. Several of their party collapse around the fire that you have set up, and Frederick greets you and bows to you as is befitting of a noble. And by you, I mean Connor. But he's chattering. His beak is chattering to the point where he's barely able to stammer out words. He says, "Sir Connor,
come to the fire, come."
Oh no!
Connor will guide him into the warmth.
Bless you both. It takes several minutes before he can keep himself under control, and he will say, "Sir Connor, Doctor, it has been some time since we spoke. So I was still grateful for all that you have done, and now for this. We do not deserve your help. We had feared that this was lost to time, but you are true to your words, and you have returned it." And he will show you. He still has the sword, the Rinaldi sword. He says, I'm grateful. I must assume your companion, Adris, was instrumental in our release. However, I fear that our business at White Ridge is not yet concluded. We had hoped with the sword we could test a theory of ours. There's one member of the White Ridge court who we believe may be a rightful heir to the throne.
Yes.
Ooh, can't see that. A court such as his.
It is strange and cruel irony. We were able to speak with the poor creature, Twitch, as he is called, and although he seems frightened of everything, when we spoke of the summer courts of the Dawn's Palace in Triskellion, I swear I saw a flicker of recognition in his eyes. I do believe we have found our man, but until we are able to test it with this sword, unfortunately, I fear our return to White Ridge will be our last. The Baron is a horrible brute.
That, of course, we are well aware of.
Yes, indeed. I know it is much to ask, and I can only but guess at your reasons for being here in this godforsaken landscape, but, well, I suppose I am wondering, given Adris's closeness to the Baron, perhaps you could arrange a negotiation for the fool, Twitch. If we can just get him out of the Baron's clutches, we can test this theory, perhaps reclaim his lost and fragmented mind. This is the best hope that we have at this point, though saying it out loud, I realize it seems like a pipe dream.
That might be difficult, but
I have no doubt that Gar's already buttered his way into the heart of the Baron.
Yes, convincing the Baron is going to be a difficult task, even for one such as Adris.
It might take quite a lot of meat to
But-
get through that, but I'm
If
sure he
there's
has enough.
anybody is up to it, it is Adris.
I proudly volunteer him to do.
He is going to glance to his companions, who are now starting to thaw out as well, and he says, "Well, as you know, we have all sworn oaths. Dangerous though it might be, we cannot carry out our pathetic lives if we have not done everything in our power to restore the proper bloodline, the proper king to his throne. I understand if you cannot help us, it simply means that we go back into the lion's den, as it were.
Well,
But we do so with full hearts."
every step you take takes me closer to killing the king.
Right.
So this is the point where I will offer another goal to you all, if you so desire it. The goal will be...
Acquire Twitch.
It will be rescue Twitch from the Baron's influence.
Given what you've already said, should it be rescue Twitch? Should it not be determine Twitch viability?
Well,
I suppose
it's not our goal to see if he's the true king, I suppose.
Well, no, it's
I
not
would
their,
accept
it's
that
their,
goal instead.
Say it's
Yeah.
their goal for that, because otherwise we're rescuing Twitch for no reason.
That's a fair point. You've already come across one supposed heir to the throne who turns out was not suitable.
I just mean based on the information that they just said, which was find out about Twitch, and suddenly we're getting to go launch a rescue operations. Wait. The two things we just talked about aren't on the same level.
Nope, that's very true. Although I guess I would argue that ultimately they want him. I mean, if he's not the actual heir, then
Right,
yes,
I mean, we can
he's
determine
useless to them.
any of that before, and then we're just left with, all right, well, he's not
Well,
there,
it turned
time
out
to
into
rescue
a yes,
him.
we'd have to do the rescue anyway, so we may as well just do the rescue, I suppose.
It's true. I
Says
think
you,
verifying...
which I'm opposed to, so that's why that's why I'm arguing that there's a less dramatic goal that we could be taking here that accomplishes what they want to accomplish.
That's true, but I don't think I am offering experience points for that goal.
There you go.
Thing. Like, I think you could verify it fairly easily, especially with your contacts in the town.
I think the person who would want us to rescue Twitch is Twitch themselves, who has not expressed this, by the way.
That's
what finding it out is all about.
And what they want... Yeah, and what they... Well, yeah, but the goal should match what has been put on the table, and they want to verify that Twitch might be... Because I saw a twinkle in his eye.
Well, not the first goal we've ever abandoned. So if it's
Well,
something
no, that's what I'm saying. No, that's what Griff. That's what I'm trying to say. Is that I don't want to abandon the goal. I just want the goal to match what's being said, and not be the dramatic turn that it looks like it's about to take. And when the goal is being offered, I feel like that's the moment to talk about it, and not push it off the table.
This is the moment to talk about it. That's true. As GM, I do have to consider what is worthy of a goal, because you could, the goal could be get to Icespire could have been a goal, right? Or, head north could have been a goal. Like, there are certain things that are definitely party objectives that are not necessarily going to be worth experience points.
Well, can I?
And
can
the
I
way
pitch
I'm
something
breaking
here,
it down.
real quick?
Okay.
I know you write the story, so whatever I pitch is already fitting into whatever you say. But, my thing is that it feels like they want to determine if he is the heir before anything else, and I feel like that can be solved. Like, where did you find Twitch? Why are you beating Twitch up all the time? I can solve that part with questions, and if it turns out through questioning, analysis, etc., that Twitch isn't the guy, we don't have to rescue him. But if Twitch is the guy, then we've done this a number of times where one goal transitions into a second half of a goal, where determine can then be turned into rescue if it turns out that, yeah, he's the guy, we gotta go back in there.
Yeah, and that's... So in that case, what would happen is you would get the first goal, and then you would get a second goal. You'd get more ultimate XP out of it. I think...
Well, I just mean it's not the first time that we've actually changed the wording of a goal halfway through.
That's true, but I guess for me it would feel like a moving target, which is something that I try to avoid. I'm not opposed to dropping goals or to changing them when new information comes to light, but to me this would feel like, the goal is this, and then once you accomplish that, sorry, that wasn't the goal anymore. the goal is now this.
Yeah,
you know?
if we're gonna talk trust, I'm going to assume you're not simply throwing a red herring at us for the sake of getting us into more trouble. So the goal is not strictly, haha, look at those players doing all these dumb stuff I'm asking them to do.
No, you remember, we've had red herrings about this before.
Yes.
So I'm not saying that this is a red herring. I'm saying possibly this guy could be the guy. I'm just saying that every other time, though, we've gone through steps to make sure, hey, is the guy that we're trying to abduct the guy?
Yeah.
And maybe before we go, let's jump straight to abduction. Maybe we should do those steps. Remember how we had to track the other guy down, put the sword in his hand before we ever tried to, whisk him away? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We do those steps first before we,
I don't know, the whisking away happened actually pretty preemptively in that
well, I mean,
that's
a bad example because he ran away, then we had to try and chase him down, figure out who he was disguised as, then convince him to hold the sword for a second.
Ultimately, the rescue is to get him into a position where the test can be done in a true manner.
Well, not necessarily. So I think that Adris could take the sword, go into court, find a moment alone. I don't think it would be very challenging. And I feel like we are in agreement here about ultimately what the steps would be to make this happen. I think the only real way that we differ is I don't want to offer you a goal that says test this thing and then deny you the XP when you do it and change the wording of the goal at that point, because that feels bad to me. And maybe it's not worth being this specific about it.
I'm just super highlighting this thing on my goal list that I have here. It says, save Tanya from the necromancer plot. And over here on the side, I've typed out unwinnable, because it was unwinnable from the moment we got it. She was dead the moment we met her.
That's true. That's a fair point. But I feel like you guys still got other goals for basically doing what you were doing. I mean, maybe not for that specific
thing. More things got revealed.
I'm just saying, there is precedent. I'm just for things not being the way that they are. I'm just saying that maybe rescue Twitch isn't the wording that should be on the table.
So the other argument I would make for rescuing... Oh, I'm sorry. We got to wrap up, right?
Yeah, I was going to say, we did actually accomplish a goal, which was to get the Rinaldi sword to the hands of the Children of the Shade.
Yeah. We can pick this up later. I'm currently going to say that this is rescue the Twitch from Baron's influence. If you guys don't decide to do this, literally the only option that the Children of the Shade have is to break in, steal Twitch, rescue him. So that's what their current goal is, and that's the goal that I'm going to offer. And we can talk about it more last time.
I will be typing about this in chat for a week.
Okay, yes.
And so what should we get for helping the Children of the Shade yet again?
Yes, okay. For, I'll offer local knowledge of the Rothos Mountains, since you guys have trekked over a kind of large area of that.
Oh, cool. I'm at 10 XP
I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember if you guys were already offered that. If you were, we can come up with something else, but...
I think last time we did Mount Grimart, but I don't think the Rothos Mountains yet, so I'll go ahead and just take that, and that'll be good.
Cool. Okay.
And a couple experience.
And now I'm a town.
Cool.
Hey everybody, I played the Anonymous Almoner. First do no harm, second get paid. Yeah, there we go.
Nice. And Ark?
Hello, I'm Ironclaw. I play Connor the Bear de Ekervis, the Brazen Raccoon Knight. My motto is one head washes the other.
And Theta.
I play Adris Gar, political mastermind and arguer of goals.
Hell yeah. Okay, cool. And I was Red. I was your game host today. Everyone take 2 experience points for showing up and for playing your characters to the hilt, which I always appreciate. It was a talky episode, a little bit of combat, but I had fun. I hope you guys did too.
Indeed.
Certainly. Right. Thank you.
All right. And if that's everything, you guys, we can head out and we'll see you again next week.
See you next time, everybody.